welcome to yet another episode of the Make It Easy podcast. My name is Shalomeni and I'll be your host. This is the Make It Easy podcast. Can you imagine, guys? This is episode 9. I know I feel like I've made this part of my intro, but every time I'm recording a video, it feels like I just started the other day, because we are only one episode away from finishing the first season, and I couldn't be more grateful. I'm grateful to God, grateful to you guys for watching my videos, for the comments, for the feedback, for the kind and encouraging words. I'm grateful. And let me also publicly apologize for the inconsistency. I promise season 2 you will be in for a treat. Season 2 you will see. Season 2 will be a great one, yeah. So today's episode is actually based off of something. Just a story, a short story. Well, I have a friend of mine who tells me that ever since I started a podcast, I've been extra deep in how I analyze things or how I just view things. I don't think that's true. I think they were just laughing. But so a few weeks ago, I was in some park. Is it a park really, or just a garden? I think just a very nice, beautiful garden. Somewhere far away. So, I was just there enjoying the ambience, enjoying the nice views and the nice air. Yeah, whatever it is someone enjoys in their nice, cool garden. That time it was actually sunny. It was so sunny. So I was just there seated on some rock, some grey rock. I think all rocks are grey. Well, the specific rock that I was sitting on, it was a grey rock, and it was quite a big rock. So I was seated there. I was on my phone. I was on my phone, yeah. And then I noticed a chameleon. So there were some rocks where I was seated specifically. There were some rocks, and then of course grass, trees, flowers, whatever it is you find in a garden again. So the next rock, next to where I was sitting, not really far from where I was sitting, I noticed a chameleon. And the first thing that came into my mind was run away, get out of there. But then I was like, okay, this chameleon, before it gets to me, and I'm pretty sure chameleons don't fly. I'm pretty sure before it gets to me, it will take some time. I don't think it runs. I don't think it can unbelievable. But I was like, okay, Shalom, cool down. This is just a chameleon. It won't hurt you. I was really convincing myself that, but in real sense, I was close to running away from that garden. Or just moving some other place. So this chameleon is just there. So I'm looking at it. It is not even moving. So of course, it was actually very hard for me to notice that chameleon, because of course you know how chameleons camouflage, and so you couldn't really tell it's a chameleon. What made me notice it's a chameleon is that it was wiggling its tail. So I saw it wiggling its tail and I was like, okay, this is a chameleon. It's definitely a chameleon. And there were actually 2 chameleons. So I think it was mother, son. I don't know. But one chameleon was definitely younger than the other chameleon. So I was just there, dazzled looking at the chameleon. And then I started getting used to seeing that chameleon. I was actually taking pictures of the chameleon. So I continued doing what I was doing, just relaxing and not minding the chameleon. And then, after a few moments later, I looked at the side where the chameleon was, and I found out that one chameleon had left the rock, and it was only one chameleon. So I couldn't see the other chameleon. And at this point, I was already up trying to run away, because I cannot see the chameleon right now. What if it's on my clothes? I was just thinking very, very unnecessarily scary thoughts. So I was there trying to spot the chameleon, because if it's not there, where is it? And then I noticed it. I noticed it was on the grass. It was walking on. No, it was actually not walking. It was just settling on the grass. Of course, because of its tail. And this time, of course, it's on. It's the grass is green, so the chameleon is also green. I was like, wow, so fascinating. Like, you wouldn't really tell if it was not for the tail, for it wiggling its tail. You wouldn't have known that. I mean, there's a chameleon here. You could have just thought that this is just normal grass. And I think it's actually my first time seeing a chameleon, and I stopped being scared. This chameleon, it was just so cool and fascinating. Like, wow, you can really fit in. You can really just go stand on the grass and just become green. Like, this was so cool. I mean, it's cool when you're learning and reading about it, but getting to see it is way cooler. So at this point now, I've stopped doing what I'm doing. I'm just checking the chameleon out. And then there was some flower next to, like, just planted up or karibu na the grass. It was, I think, purple or pink. It was purple. I don't know which flower is that. But the chameleon moved from the green grass to the purple flower. And as expected, the chameleon turned purple. And you wouldn't tell, like, if you're just walking and not really paying attention, you wouldn't really tell that there's a chameleon here. And I mean, this was now so fascinating. Like, this chameleon looked so harmless and now so beautiful. Because wow, how this is such a unique ability, or so cool of the chameleon. Then of course now I checked it out for, I was dazzled by it. I checked it out for a few minutes and then continued going back. I went back to what I was doing. And then like 10 minutes later, I'm looking for the chameleon. It's not on the purple flower. It's come back to the rock. I was like, wow, this is so cool. This is very cool. But of course, I'm still afraid. What if the chameleon jumps to where I was and comes to me and lands on me and changes its color, blah blah blah. But anyway, so the two chameleons were there on the rock, the grey rock. Yeah, it was a grey rock. And for a moment there, I couldn't stop but think of how much, I mean, it's so cool, like the chameleon's ability to blend in, in its surroundings and just fit in. But how many of us blend in environments we go to? And I mean, blending in is good, blending in is great, but sometimes us getting to blend in rubs off who we are, or who we are as a person. Because I mean, if you know, I think a chameleon's original color is grayish, a bit grayish like a rock. But when this chameleon goes to the green grass, I mean, it does not stop being a chameleon. It's just that it no longer represents a chameleon. When it goes to the purple flower, it still remains to be a chameleon. Yes, it does not become a flower, but it does not become a representation of what a chameleon is, or what a chameleon should look like. It embodies the color of the flower. And I couldn't, I just thought of how much most of us sometimes go into places or go into atmospheres or environments that make us lose who we are because we want to fit in. I mean, of course, I know the scientific aspect of why a chameleon does whatever it does, so that it protects itself from danger. When it sense danger, sense of it's a way of coping. But I mean, leave alone the scientific bit of it. How many of us go to, when we get to places or when we get to hang around people who are not really who we are? If a chameleon is on a rock, I mean, that is the color of the chameleon. I think, yeah, that's the actual color of a chameleon. So it's so okay being up on the rock and just sitting there, because I mean, it does not have changed its color. This is what it represents as a chameleon. But when it gets to a different environment, it has to change its color, the way it looks, for it to blend in with the atmosphere it goes to. So how many of us, whenever we get to hang around different people, or whenever we get to different atmospheres or environments, we get to change who we are. And I'm not saying changing because I mean, of course, we can't change our color and everything unless we bleach. But anyway, that aside, how many of us change our values, change our character, our personality, who we are as a person, just because we want to fit in, just because we want to be accepted, just because we want to feel like, you know what, I belong. And sometimes it can be a way of coping or a way of protecting yourself from danger, but sometimes it's not really about the danger. Because let me tell you, a chameleon, it does not matter whether it feels like there's a sense of danger. I think it is just what it does. Like when it goes to an environment, it becomes completely like that environment. Sometimes we are so afraid of we are like this chameleon, we are so afraid of the unknown that when we get to an environment, we don't wait to see the red flags or the danger that environment poses for us. We automatically, our brains are wired to think that, you know what, I have come to this particular environment, or I'm hanging around this different kind of people. Now I have to change who I am completely, my values, whatever I believe, my personality, my character. I have to change everything about me because I feel like this place will pose as a threat to my individual person. You get what I'm saying? And I mean, all that time there's nothing that is really threatening you, but your brain has been aware that, you know what, when I get to a different environment that is not that rock, because I mean, when a chameleon is on a rock, that is its safe place, so to say, because that is where the chameleon can really become a chameleon, because a chameleon is green color, a rock is green color, so it really fits in. But when it gets to this purple flower or pink flower, it will change, even if there's no animal or no threat that is approaching. So I feel like most of us, we are like this chameleon. Whenever we get to different environments, whenever we get to different hanging around different people, we just change who we are, what we believe in, just because we want to fit in, just because we feel like, I mean, if I don't be a representation of these people, or what these people want, or what these people expect of me, this will pose as a threat to me. And sometimes there's no even, the threat is just here, kwa akili, because how bad can it be? Well, I mean, if of course a chameleon is green color and then it goes to the grass, does not change its color, of course, what's its chameleon? I don't know. It will probably be in danger. But leave the chameleon story aside. What about you? Do you really have to change who you are? Do you really have to, I mean, whenever you go to your workplace or school or whatever, do you really have to change, like, the you at work and the you who is at home are two different people, because you're in this new environment or you're in this different environment, so you're like, you know what, this environment I'm going to put on this face. And I mean, of course, there is professionalism that is expected when we are in our places of work or just different spheres. I'm not speaking about that is totally different. I'm speaking about the aspect of losing who you are, or what you believe in, because you want to be accepted, because you want to feel like you fit in. Sometimes fitting in is a threat to who we are and what we believe in. So I just hope that we get to realize how much force or power that we carry within us, that when you get to an environment and you have to change all that because you want people around you to accept you, or people around you because you feel like that place is of danger, you get to lose all this. Your individuality gets to rub off eventually, and you get to become like this green grass, like this purple flower, you know, because that is the kind of environment you're in. So that is what you are going to be a representation of. And as I wind up, I know sometimes fitting in feels like a very great solution to running away from, you know, the poised threats that you might feel come with, you know, going to different environments and hanging around different and new people. But sometimes fitting in makes us lose who we are and makes us trust less in our original self, that original self gets to really fade away, that we stop having confidence in our true being and we start putting our confidence in this person that we show when we are with different kind of people, when we are with different kind of, hanging around different people. We lose the trust, or we lose the trust in who we really are. And that is not a cool thing, because if you lose trust in the person who you really are, when you want to fit in, you will want to fit in all the different friend groups, all the different environments that you go to, all the different places that you go to. You will have a different person being represented there. So eventually who you are will completely fade away, and you will now be conflicted in who you really represent, who you really, what you really are. Yeah. So being you is awesome. Being you is great. So do not want to fit in the environments that you go to. Just be confident in being yourself, and you will eventually be so proud of having that different version of you, or that same version of you, in everywhere you go. Like, people will know you for that character. Yeah, like people will know that when they say shalom, or when different friends of shalom meet and start talking about shalom, like they will all agree about one thing. You can imagine if you have different personalities and you want to fit in different. Of course, I know we have different friend groups and different people know us according to how the faces we interact with them. But amidst all these things that you do, or all these people that know you differently, let there be one or two things that when they come together to start discussing about you, or they'll actually come to agreement that anyway, this particular aspect, this is shalom, this is who shalom represents, this is what shalom does. Don't let it be like, this friend says this other friend groups this. Nah, just be confident in being you, and show you in every place you go. Like, be confident in that person. Yeah, so that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you the following week as we wrap up season 1. Bye.